A lovely Saturday afternoon. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the D3 race at Portimao. This is race number 2 of the Zoom Racing League at Portimao Circuit, and there's a Mercedes already spinning around. That's faithful. Yeah, welcome to Portimao Race 2 for Division 3. I am PBJ, also here with Duncan McCamick. Duncan, how you doing? Did we lose Duncan? Duncan, you there?
Nope, no, I'm still here. Yeah, I'm
There
sorry.
he is.
Yeah.
How you doing, brother? You doing all right?
Sorry, I'm not sure if I heard your full intro or not. Yeah, we're doing good.
Yeah, we did one intro.
Yeah,
We forgot to
as you
turn
said,
off the
new track this week. So everyone's kind of on equal playing field. A lot of people, unless you've been doing this on another game, haven't seen this track yet. So there's a lot to learn. I think that turn 4 and turn 8 are immediate outliers of corners that I think are going to be out to get people today. So I'm really interested to see how that works out for Division 3. Being a Division 1 driver, I'm kind of watching them as the guinea pigs to see kind of what happens, what strategies people are doing, and just kind of see how things go, really.
Yeah, it should be an interesting race. A lot of these drivers just now getting into the league, you know, they're trying to get their name on the board, trying to make a mark for themselves, and it's a great way to do that is to go to a track where we have never ever had a race before. It's obviously a brand new track to the game. 2.891 miles around. There's 15 turns, including the long, infamous turn 15 at the end, that long right-hander that, if you are on some worn tires in the race and you're not too careful, it can catch you out.
Yeah, definitely. I see TTF Desmond just put down a time of 18.5. Pretty solid time. I don't think that's the kind of times we're going to be looking at for pole this week. For pole, I think we're going to see Division 3 times that are going to be under 18 minutes. Probably closer to the 17.5 range. I think we got a couple of fast guys this week. As you see, BuzzGod just put up an 18.1. I was about to say BuzzGod and Lethal in practice this week have been putting up some very insane times. Also, we've got some veterans here between Sid Satgar, Walter Desmond, and I believe we have another one somewhere. But yeah, between those guys, we have some guys that have a lot of experience here. Walter Desmond specifically, he's been racing in Division 1, and I think that racing down here in Division 3, he'll be one of the faster cars and definitely one we should look out for.
Absolutely. Walter T.F. Desmond is going to be a big pick for the race. Looks like he's on a hot lap right now. He just went up 4/10 in Sector 1, starting Sector 2, going through the tight Turn 5. Let's go ahead and hop on board with him. Whoop, that's not the right button. There's the right button. So he goes through Turn 7, going into Turn 8. Turn 8's one of the hardest corners on this track in this game. The back end wants to come around on these cars quite a bit. But into my favorite section here, turns 9 and 10, the actual turns called Portimao, down to turn 11 right here, down the hill, back around to the left and up into the turn 13, 14 complex. What a great track, Duncan. I mean, I know you've driven quite a few laps around here this week, but the tracks, it's like a roller coaster, up, down, left, right, blind turns, wide, smooth, fast. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. Everything you said is right. Closest thing I can compare it to would be something like Netherlands or Spain. But yeah, as you see, WTF's actually coming in right here. I think he just did his hot lap. He ran a 20.9. Looking at practice throughout the week, I know that's not his best time he can put up. I know we've got some faster times to see out of him. So we'll have to see. As Lethal comes through with a 17.2, absolutely flying. That's actually something I thought I would see for pole, but 12 minutes left in qualifying. Wow. What a time.
I mean, that's almost a full second faster in the first runs here. Now, these drivers usually go out, they'll get a set of soft tires on the car. Looks like everybody's actually running softs down to 1 through 6 anyway. Then you got Siggy and Faithful running the mediums. But, yeah, generally these drivers will take 3 runs. Some drivers here will go for 2 laps on their qualifying. And then, maybe do a soft to hard strategy in the race. But you don't want to burn them up too much because you want to save some of those tires for the race itself. Looks like Axel is maybe coming back.
Absolutely, and yeah.
Looks like Axel is finishing a lap.
Starting his hot lap right
he goes
now.
P2 with a 1:18.0.
Yep. Wow. I think we have Rivas starting a hot lap right now too.
Just take a look at Rivas here.
Unless he's coming into the pits. He did just spin out. Yep. Rivas did spin out, so I think that he's coming to get a new set of tires just to, kind of get a reset and get back out there on something else.
Look at Fute in the medium tires, throwing down a 118.3 in the Ferrari. And I think he's still on a hot lap here. It looks like let's hop on board. He goes up into turn number 9. Actually, I think he may be off. He's going kind of slow. But yeah, Fute putting down an amazing lap. A 118.3 on the medium tires. That's super quick.
Daman Man is coming to the line right now on his hot lap. We're going to see what kind of time he comes across. I think he put up a couple good sectors. Trying to at least aim for that top 10. I'm sure he is. As he comes through at a 118.7, not a bad first lap, not just to get something on the board, really.
Yeah, it's a good banker. Puts him
sure
7th fastest.
Back in and, yep, and really that's kind of what these guys are trying to do right now, is just go out there and set a banker, and then they're going to be able to come back out and just absolutely fully send one, which is kind of why I'm surprised to see Lethal is currently up 0.8 on second place. I don't even know if he'll have to come out and fully send one. That's an absolute blistering time, so... We'll see what he decides to do.
You know what's interesting about Lethal here? He set his fastest time on the soft tires, but he's now out on a second run on the medium tires. So I don't know if he expects he can go faster on those medium tires or something different, but he's definitely on mediums. And if I'm not mistaken, his fastest lap was on softs because those mediums have zero laps on them right now. So maybe he's just getting a quick practice run in and he's set with his qualifying time. I don't know, but interesting move from our fastest driver right now.
Yeah, I think his fastest lap was set on softs, it appears. Looking at it, he did set that 17.2 on softs, but now he's out on mediums trying to see if he can set a lap faster than that. He's on his out lap right now. Here he's actually starting his flying lap. Let's go on board with him and see if we can get an improvement.
He's going slow,
looks like he's giving up on the lap already.
I think I think he might have actually went over the curb in turn number 14 and may have invalidated this lap and his next lap.
Before it even started.
Yeah, yep. So he may be saving the tires for the next time around if he's got enough fuel to do it. But I don't see his fuel light on, so he must have some fuel in there.
Yep. Let's go on board with Siggy. Not a lot we know about him. He's starting his hot lap right now.
All right. Why don't you take us around a lap of Portimao, Duncan?
Yeah, so going down into turn 1, you just want to carry as much speed as you can. You kind of missed the apex right there. A little bit of time to gain. Hard braking zone to get around this corner to the right. Right through here, you need to be very careful on your throttle going up this hill. As you short shift up to 5th gear. Get back on the throttle as hard as you can into the second hard braking zone. The hairpin downhill, getting the car to stop. It can be difficult sometimes. Getting around the corner and back on the throttle up into 3rd gear. Into up here around the right corner, which is going to be fast. And this corner called Samsung can be one of the trickiest on the whole circuit. You got to be very careful with the throttle. You're going to see a lot of people spin out right there. And then into one of my favorite corners on the whole track, up here into turn 11. Getting the car to get right and just get back on the throttle as we go down this hill. And up into sector 3, this long left-hander, followed by the long right-hander is going to take us to the home stretch, and let's see what kind of time Siggy can put up here. Actually had a pretty good lap, I think.
I saw another driver getting out of his way right there. Going into the long turn 15 that just keeps going forever and ever, and then up this little hill, back to the start-finish line. Siggy comes across the line with a 118.4. That is good enough for 5th place. Great lap for Siggy.
Yeah, definitely a solid lap for him to put down as a banker. I think that he has more to give, especially through turn 1. It looked like he took it a little bit cautiously, and I don't blame him. Turn 1 is a big spot for invalidations, and until you have a comfortable time, it's not one that you really want to fully send, but we'll see what he comes back out with. There's still 7 minutes left. I think we're going to have a lot of hot laps still come through. I think we have an Aston Martin. Is that Rivas coming through for his hot lap? And yes, he's starting his hot lap now, I think.
Let's watch Rivas here as he goes into turn number... Can't tell. There he is. Turn 1 and 2 up to turn 3. Rivas has put a lot of work in this week. He needs to be rewarded with a great qualifying time in that Aston Martin. I get in trouble for calling it Georgia style, call it Ashton, but that's not right. Aston Martin. Taking a tight turn there through turn 5, up the hill again. down into the super quick turn 7, which some of these guys try to take flat, but it takes some stones to do that. That's all I'll say. Down into turn number 9, downhill, back up the hill at turn number 8. Rivas doing a great job keeping it from going off the curb there. Some of these turns are blind. Like I said, you can't hit the apex, get back on the gas, and just kind of, cross your fingers and hope you don't go off the edge of the track. But Rivas looks like he's putting together a good lap here. Let's go ahead and follow him all the way to the start-finish line. Keep it nice and tight against that curb. And up the hill. You got to shift, Rivas. There you go, up to 8th gear, 120.6. Rivas is on the board, 14th place.
Yep, Rivas is on the board. Let's go ahead and hop on board with Buzz God. Buzz God's put up. There's a little bit of a ruckus about him this week. There's some very fast times we've seen come from him in practice. He's watch out right there.
Boy, Rivas took to the grass right there to get out of Buzz God's way because he was coming through.
It's a good thing he did because Buzz God is not messing around. Buzz God is putting out a big lap right now at Piers.
Oh, he's up half a second in Sector 1.
Sector 1. He's coming for a lethal spot. Yep. Yeah, he's up
He's
big,
on a
so
flyer.
This is a good time from Buzz God. As I said, like throughout practice this week.
Someone just said a purple Sector 1. Oh, he must have just went off the curb right there. And Buzz God's off. Bud God. So who set the purple Sector 1? I think was it I didn't see who it was, but I saw the timing flash purple there. Let's see if we can see it again on Sector 2 here. It may have been, and I'm terrible at figuring this out because I'm colorblind. I can't see who's who, but
I'm not quite sure. I do see that we have WTF on a hot lap, so Walter Desmond is on another one. He's looking like he's trying to start on medium tires. Not sure if that's the move yet, but
well, he's down in 16th place, so he'll get his free choice to start on whatever he wants at this point. He's got to break into the top 10. Remember, the drivers that start in the top 10 will start on their qualifying tire. If you start outside the 11th place and beyond, you get free choice to get it started on whatever tire you want. Fute right now, the only driver.
We'll have to see if he sets a top 10 time.
Yeah, Fute and Siggy are the only two right now on the medium tires. Let's see if Axelized can get a better lap together here. Looks like he's up 1.5 tenths through Sector 2. Still in those soft tires, but definitely went wide right there. Yeah.
And that is one of the spots on the track where you just sometimes the car doesn't want to come around and you just end up off track, and it's frustrating, but you just gotta wipe it out of your brain and go again.
Axelize is still running that same set of soft tires. He's got 5 laps on these tires at this point.
Yep.
He's got enough time to hit the pits now and no, he's not coming in, so he's going to try to keep it going. 118.4, that's not any faster than what he did before, so he's still running, and it looks like he's got plenty of fuel in that car. So
yeah, this is actually
there's
very,
Sargento
very
around the apex. They come together. What happened there?
Something you want to. Yeah, that's Alpine destruction just happening right before our eyes. And to make matters worse, like you said, Axelize has actually set his best lap on this set of soft tires that are 6 laps used now, and he's gonna have to start the race on these tires. It looks like because he's starting within the top 10.
That is an interesting thing about this track, though. The pit exit in this game throws you right into the apex of turn 1. So these drivers that are coming out of the pits have really got to be careful. In that case, I don't know if you'd say Axelize was on a hot lap or not, but definitely the Williams of Sargento there just right was kind of parked in the way right there. But
yeah, absolutely.
I got excited just watching that for a second. That was crazy. So let's see. Lethal looks like he just started a hot lap. All right, he's getting ready to start a hot lap. He's on a, he's already up. He's slower, half a second. He might be saving his tires here for a second run. Looks like he's got a car coming up behind him right now. Looks like it might be a Ferrari.
I think he's actually on his in lap. That's probably what I'm guessing.
Well, his tires say 0 laps. That's what's making me think he's.
Do they?
Yeah, I think he's. Some of these drivers do an interesting strategy. They try to get the fuel as low as they can, right? So they'll go out, they'll do 2 warm-up laps, and they'll kind of take it super soft. There's a car right behind him. I can't tell who that is. It might be Sir Doug, maybe? Nope, it's not Sir Doug. Let's try the other red car. Let's see. KTF Desmond. Nope, it's not him either. Mr. Robot, maybe? Let's try that one. Yep, this is Mr. Robot. So Mr. Robot in the Alfa Romeo is behind Lethal right there. Might be trying to get a tow. He's on his out lap.
Looks like Yeah, he doesn't actually have a lap in yet, even though he's gone 3 laps, so he must be invalidating over and over and over. Another person who I was going to point out, who hasn't set a lap yet, which I find very interesting, is Sid Satgar. He's, from my experience racing with him, I would imagine him to be a top 5 racer in this division, and he's just now starting his first hot lap with a minute to go in the session. So that's interesting. He also chose to come out in mediums. So
Well, let's hop on with
very curious
Sid.
to see what very curious to see what kind of time he's about to put down.
Looks like he's
Very cautious.
well. We're under. I mean, at this point, we're about a minute left in the session. So if you have not started a lap at this point, you're not going to. 22.6 first sector. That's not the quickest. He is on the medium tires. I'm going to jump back on with Lethal for a second, our pole sitter, see if he can go any faster. He's going through sector 2 at the moment, but going down the hill, over to turn number 9, up the hill, back over to turn number 8. I love this flowing section of sector 2 here. Look at the car rotate through turn 11 right there. Wow. That's the way to do it. And he is on his
Shaggy
mark.
just set a 17.6 as well. So
Shaggy just started another hot lap as well. Let's finish this lap out with Lethal real quick, then we'll hop on with Shaggy and see what he's doing. Looks like session's going to be over in 4 seconds, so these times count coming across the line. If you have not started your lap, you cannot start it anymore. Lethal coming to the line. Let's see if he can improve. And he does not improve. He is still on the pole, though, with a 1:17.2. Hopping on with Shaggy. He's up half a tenth. Yeah, Sid didn't get in the top 10 with those medium tires. That's a risky play, but
nope. Didn't work out for him either, so we'll see how that works out. Let's hop on board with Shaggy, like you said, see if he can go for that pole position.
Actually, I think Axelized might be the next one across the line. Yeah, he's up in turn 13 and 14, so let's hop on board the Axelized here. Let's see if he can make any improvement. Man. He's currently, it looks like, about 8 tenths slower off the pole.
Yeah. He's still trying it with these 8-lap-old softs. I don't know what the thought is there.
Yeah, he's coming into the pits. He's going to abort. Let's go back with Shaggy here. Yep. Shaggy's coming out of the last turn, past the P0 Zines and past the P0
really exit there.
Let's see what he can do up to the start-finish line. Shaggy's coming across in the Williams. He improved by 1,000th of a second and did get him with a purple sector 3 to boot to go with it. But let's see what BuzzGod can do. BuzzGod spins. Oh no, the sector 2. He was up, and he was up 3 tenths too, but he couldn't hold on to it down into turn number 9.
Got iFound coming across. Nope, he's actually went off track too.
iFound's off the track. Let's see. How about Dominion Man? He's off. And I think that's it. I think that's everybody.
Yeah, because BuzzGod was on a hot lap, but he actually went off as well. So that's it for qualifying. Where you see it is where it is.
So your pole sitter, Lethal, with a 1:17.2. That's 4 tenths quicker than second place Shaggy in the Williams with a 1:17.6, and Axelized with a 1:18.0, rocking those 8-lap soft tires. Now, Duncan, what kind of strategy do you think Axelized is going to have to do in the race to make that strategy work?
To be honest, I think he's screwed himself. I don't know if there is one. This was a terrible strategy by the Williams team, and I hope that they can find something to recover, but it doesn't look promising.
I mean, Pirelli says those soft tires have about 13 laps of life on them, so you figure he's already got 8. He's got 5 laps, and he's got to switch to mediums to hards. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see watch how Axelized go. But yeah, Lethal with a great lap, 1:17.2. That's going to be our pole sitter for D3. He is probably, if I'm not mistaken, too, he was the most picked driver in the F1 Fantasy this week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. In our ZRL Fantasy Leagues, Lethal is the #1 pick driver. I think he's the favorite here, and a lot of people know that, looking at practice and how he did this week. Definitely putting up some of the fastest times we've seen. But BuzzGod was also right there with him. I'll go ahead and call out BuzzGod as being my sneaky pick of someone who probably didn't represent himself as well as he could have in qualifying, but someone who's definitely fast enough to compete with Lethal if he can hold on to him in these first couple laps. He's got a little bit of traffic in his way between Shaggy with the Williams and the it's Axelized with the crazy old tires, but we're going to see how he does with that kind of traffic in his way.
I'm going to keep my eye on Fute down in 6th place on those medium tires. We know he's a quick driver from his time in D2 earlier this season.
Yep.
Last week's winner, Crypt ID, is actually not in the – I guess he's not racing this week, but now we're going to jump right into the race. There is no formation lap, so we're going to jump right into it here. Get you something cold to drink, get you something comfy to sit on. Let's go ahead and watch the D3 at Portugal.
Yes.
And let's see
I'm
what
excited,
these boys
and I'm
can
hoping
do.
that my fantasy team can pull through too. That's really what I'm worried about here. That's my main concern.
All right, boys, let's get this lined up. We're going to jump right in it. You know, I will say something interesting here, though. There were no DNFs in qualifying. I don't know if you noticed that every driver made it through. There were no crashes. I mean, there were some spins. There's always spins, right? But all the drivers kept it out of the fence. They kept it off of each other, except for the one time we saw, but they walked away.
Yep.
And that'll happen, you know, especially with that T1 pit exit like that. But
Yeah.
So yeah, here we go. We're started the Portimao Grand Prix, second race of the D3 series in the Zoom Racing League. Lethal's your pole sitter. And here we go. And it's lights out and away we go. Lethal gets a great start. Looks like Shaggy's pulling in right behind him. Buzzgod sliding into third place. Sir Douglasm already with the time penalty. That's interesting. And it looks like Lethal's kind of keeping it 1-2. Look at Buzzgod go right underneath and take the move under Shaggy in the turn 3 as they go up the hill up to turn number 5.
Yeah, and one thing I noticed, we already have one Ferrari out of the race. KTF Desmond seems to have had an incident. We've got slow cars in the back as well. Looks like Sargento's having a little bit of a, he's spinning out a little bit, so we're running into some issues back there, as well as Mr. Robot's not having too good of a time either. But the biggest thing that I think we can take away from the start of this race is, just like I said, Buzzgod has gotten through the traffic and he's chasing down Lethal, and it's going to make the race for first place interesting. Oh, Sid Satgare already coming away with a 5-second penalty. Severe collision with TTF Desmond.
Yeah, there was a.
That's not good. Sid.
We got a virtual safety car on track. There was I think it was a Haas that just sent it down in the turn 5 right there and crashed into the side of I think it was Sid. So maybe Leafsis, is that a Haas? Yep, he's missing his front wing. Yeah, Leafsis went down in the turn 5 right there, and I mean completely overshot the corner, took out the Red Bull of Sid at the same time. But yeah, virtual safety car, still multiple penalties coming out here. But these drivers get a chance to kind of put a fresh nose wing on the car, and continue the race.
Who this may benefit is was it Shaggy or whoever was it on the 9-lap old?
Yeah.
Yeah, Axelized. This could benefit Axelized because now he gets to come in and
we're
walk
racing
away
again.
with a free set of tires.
And there's some action back here in second place. Looks like Axelized got past Shaggy. And now he's taking on Buzzgod down in the turn number 5, side by side. He's pushing him off the track. Wow.
Oh. Misses the apex there. That might be something the stewards look at later. But yeah, I mean, obviously he's going to be missing the braking points. His tires are 8 laps old. This is just something Buzzgod needs to be careful around and try to get past him. As you can see, Lethal's actually already created a 2-second gap, and it's not looking good for the rest of the pack behind him.
Yeah, Buzzgod's really struggling on those soft tires on race fuel. I mean, Axelized got by him first. Shaggy got right by him again. And he is struggling for pacer. I don't know if he's got damage to his wing or what, but he's definitely fallen back. Now he's under threat from Fute. Oh, it looks like Shaggy went around. Shaggy spun coming out of turn 13 out of second place, and now he's got those hot rear tires. Let's see if he can hold on to it through turn 14. It's like he's holding on. Okay, what a ride for Shaggy there.
You know, sneakily, Faithful has actually gone up 7 spots, and that's going to make it 8 as he passes Buzzgod, who goes into the pits early. I'm not sure what happened with him, but Faithful's actually started 14th, and he's now in 6th. So huge moves for the Mercedes team. Siggy's also up 3 places. Man, another big mover we see is Walter Desmond is up to 10th, started in 17th. So big moves for WTF. We know that he likes to kind of start in the back and just work his way slowly through the field and pick them off slowly. It's just kind of his style of racing, and it's working for him right now.
Just saw Sir Douglasm in the Ferrari make a great move under Fute down there. I'm sorry, Fute's in the Ferrari. Make a big move under Sir Douglasm. Maybe he got it back. I think I missed that. Yeah, I think Sir Douglasm made a move down in the turn 5, got past Fute, then Fute took it right back down in the turn 6. So these guys are swapping all over the place down for third place right now. Fute in the mediums, though, up to third place. I remember he was a driver I said he's got to keep an eye on. You know he's super quick, and those medium tires can go a lot longer than these other softs.
Yeah, Fute's got a little bit of a history in this league. He's always been one of the faster drivers. He used to race in Division 2 before having to step down for personal reasons. But he's obviously going to be one of the fastest drivers we know on this track. I don't know if he's got a whole lot of practice in this week. He's a little bit of a last-minute substitute, but definitely someone we need to keep our eye on is Douglas Mitchell's coming into the pits early. Not sure. Oh, there's a safety car.
There's a safety car.
Oh, we lost the other Desmond. Okay. Yep, we've lost both the Desmond brothers. There's one left out of the Desmonds. We have Walter Desmond to remain, but 2 of the 3 brothers are actually out early. It's unfortunate to see.
Yeah, it looks like maybe we lost one of them down in turn number 4. I think that was TTF Desmond. We lost it coming out of turn 4. He's on the left side of the track down there. And I saw the safety car came out, so a lot of these guys dove into the pits. Looks like Sid dove into the pits. Leafs just dove into the pits, getting some fresh tires on the car. Front runners, though, looks like Maeve went past the pits before they had a chance to get some fresh tires on the car. Lethal, our leaders, up 4.5 seconds on Fute. The safety car looks like it's waiting for the drivers down after turn number 4. So he will get a chance to hit the pits if he wants and put those fresh medium tires. But I don't know, lap 4, what do you think? Is it too early to put the medium tires on the car?
I don't know. So you have you have a couple of options. You can either come in for medium tires and you can try to go back to softs at the end of the race. That's one option. Or if you're feeling really bold, you could potentially go to hards for the rest of the race. Hard tires, surprisingly, I just have tested this today, work fairly well. Your first couple laps are going to be a little bit painful, but after that, I find that it's actually a pretty solid race tire. So I'd be interested to see if anyone decides to come in for that strategy.
Looks like Lethal is staying out. Let's see if anybody else dives in. Looks like no, everyone else is. Oh, nope, we got Faithful coming in the Mercedes. He's going to come in and put some fresh tires on.
Yep.
Looks like everyone out maybe staying out behind him. I think the hard tires to play. Yep, hard tires.
Actually go ahead and go.
Yep. Yeah, Pirelli says the hard tires.
Those hard tires. He's going to try.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, Faithful's he's coming in and he's kind of taking on that strategy I was just talking about. He's going to try to go the rest of the way. Like I said, I practiced this today just to see if it was possible, and it's definitely possible. Now he's kind of in a spot where for the rest of the race, all these guys in front of him haven't pitted, and he's out here on hard tires, and he's just going to slowly pick them off one by one as they go into their pits. At that point, when he's going to have track position on them, it's really going to be about staying in front of them and defending, which this is a track that can be difficult to overtake. So I think he's onto something here. We'll find out, but Sid is also going through the same strategy. He's just going to be four positions back in 16th. So Sid's also a very, very experienced racer. He's a veteran as well. So I think both of these guys are onto something.
Do you think there may be more safety cars? You know, if you have to put the hards on now.
Yeah.
And there's a car in the wall. What was that? There's a car in the wall.
I'm not sure.
I was watching it up near turn 10. Let's see if I can figure out who that is. Oh, it's a ghost car. It was Lethal. Unless the game just glitched for a second. I look like Lethal. Look like he's flying into the tire wall there.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that on my screen. Could be a classic Codemasters little bug that we're looking at. So I'm not seeing it over here.
It wouldn't be the first time, but looks like he's okay now. And actually, no, I'm sorry. That was it would be Revis if I had to pick, and I think looks like his wing's okay. He's coming into the pit, so I don't know. That was weird. Anyway, so back up front, looks like our leader's going to take another lap around here around the quarter-mile circuit. Lethal still on those 5-lap-old soft tires. I don't have a lot of confidence in our tire numbers either, because we know these guys qualified on these tires, and
yeah, it's not completely accurate. It doesn't count the time or the laps that they put in on their tires.
Okay.
I'm sure that Axelized is going to be glad to eventually get off those. I'm assuming he is. Yep.
He's on the medium tires now.
Mediums.
Yep.
Yep. BuzzGod's also come in for fresh mediums. Revis has had his incident and come in for fresh softs, so Revis is looking at a 2-stopper. I will also note that we've had a little bit of testing on the medium tires, and it is very possible to go the rest of the race on medium tires, and you can struggle very much towards the end, but it is doable. And I don't know if that's the plan for Axelized and BuzzGod. but it would be a stretch for sure.
You know, worth of noting now, Axelize has a drive-through penalty, and BuzzGod already has a 3-second penalty. So we're 6 laps in the race, and these penalties are already starting to stack up. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw also Axelize has a 5-second penalty on top of the drive-through for severe contact with Fute. I saw that banner come up, and they're separated on the track, so I'm not sure when that happened, but. Anyway, we're assuming the safety car is going to come in this time by. Is kind of what we're thinking. See the driver starting to warm their tires up. So let's get this back on our. Clean this up a little bit. There we go. So Fute on the. Actually, let's pull the tires back up, though. I can kind of know what I'm talking about here. And
Yeah.
there we go. Fute still in the medium tires. Lethal still on the soft tires. I'd imagine there's going to be a crossover point here very soon. Yeah, the driver's definitely warming up those tires. Safety car is building a gap. Lethal's controlling the pack at this point. You cannot pass until you get to the start-finish line or the green flag comes out, whichever happens first or last. But, oh, he's stacking them all up. There he goes. He takes off. He gets a huge jump on Fute. And the Ferrari Fute still and Axelize is out of the session. Axelize went ahead and retired with all those penalties.
I don't know what happened.
Yep.
Yeah, that appears to be the issue. That's unfortunate. But it looks like Lethal got a crazy launch. I'm a little surprised because I think we're almost to the point where the medium overlap should be happening. So Fute is probably just doing his best
warming
right
his
now
tires
to
up.
kind of get. Yeah, you know what? That could have been what happened. Was he had the mediums that got a little bit cold, and the mediums don't react so well under the cold, and now he's trying to kind of warm them back up. So he's already down 2.5 seconds to Lethal. We'll see if he can make up that gap.
On board with Siggy as he chases down Fute. Siggy's also on soft tires. Fute's on the mediums. Looks like there's a yellow in Sector 2. Looks like Faithful.
Oh, no. Yeah, Walter Desmond is actually just DNF'd from the race.
Oh,
I don't know what happened. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
There's
We'll
a
see if
yellow
we
in
get a
Sector
safety
3.
car.
Looks like Sir Dougalism has taken a spin. He
Yep.
rejoins in the Alfa Romeo there. Meanwhile, back up front, Siggy continues to follow Fute here. And now he ran out of ERS there. So these drivers don't have DRS just yet, so they're kind of just relying solely on the slipstream.
Yeah, Fute is starting to kind of reel in Lethal a little bit. He's got a couple tenths on him. He's not losing time anymore, so that's something to look forward to. I think his tires are starting to warm up a little. He's making a little bit of a gap to Siggy as well. I'm just curious to see if some of our guys on these hard tires, like Sid, are able to kind of hang in here, because right now this is the hardest part of the race for them with those hard, cold tires coming off the safety car. Really, they're probably hoping for no more safety cars for the rest of the race, and that would benefit them.
Yeah, I just want to get to the end of the race at this point. You don't need to pit anymore. Those hard tires are good. Right now, the goal is to stay within DRS of the car in front of you. Looks like Sid's in a nice little bunch right there. He'll be able to get a DRS train, hopefully catch up to the cars in front of him. Meanwhile, back up front, looks like Siggy's continuing to chase down Fute, and Fute is kind of holding a steady gap to Lethal. Lethal's going to have to pit here probably in the next, let's say, 3 to 4 laps would be my guess. And get on some either hard tires if he doesn't want to pit anymore, maybe the mediums. Let's see. When we got DRS this time, DRS is now enabled, so that should help Shaggy and Siggy catch up to Fute. I don't think they got it on the straightaway this time, but they'll definitely get it coming out of turn number 4.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the strategy here for Lethal is he's going to stick with his main strategy he chose from the beginning, which is either going to be going from softs to hards on a one-stop, or he's planning to go soft, soft, medium, or soft, medium, soft. So kind of at a waiting point in the race to see what kind of strategy these guys are going with. Fute is definitely closing the gap on Lethal now. We see that he's made about 5 tenths in the past lap.
I wonder if Lethal made a mistake. That's a big gap.
I'm not sure yet. Yep, he may have had a little bit of a moment there, but Fute is definitely running him down, and we know what kind of pace he has, and not something that Lethal's going to want to deal with.
Looks like Siggy and Shaggy are definitely staying in a DRS zone of Fute here. I'm watching Siggy. He's got to be really careful of those track limits. On this lap alone, I've seen him go over the limit twice. He doesn't have any penalties yet, so you just got to keep that in mind. 3 seconds here would cost you at least 2 positions. Rivas with a corner cut, 10-second penalty. What happened there?
It's a little bit of an egregious penalty, I feel like. I'm not sure what happened.
I wonder if he
Go
took
back
the
and check
chicane
out.
through turn 1 when he wasn't supposed to. I don't know. That was interesting. Meanwhile, back up front, looks like Shaggy is catching Siggy. Siggy does not have DRS. Shaggy's going to make a move up the inside through turn
can he keep it tight?
1. Did they?
Wow.
Oh, wow. I don't know if they
That was some
touched
good
or
racing
what,
between
but
the two of them.
I mean, Shaggy definitely was not over aggressive there. Maybe backed out of it. Maybe had a little contact. I saw Siggy go a little bit wide. But, yeah, Shaggy's got DRS again, back down toward turn number 5 right here.
It's a good little battle happening here for third place. Yeah, Shaggy is definitely putting the pressure on Siggy right now. It's a little bit scary going to turn 1. As you see, there's a big gap to P5, but it's Sid who's in P5, and that's just something I just want to keep my eye on. Like we said, Sid's a veteran racer, so kind of just keep an eye on that as he starts to try to close this gap and is really just trying to manipulate the strategies of the guys in front of him. So we'll watch out for that. Lethal is actually still losing the gap to Foot. I think that the gap or that the crossover for the medium tires is definitely starting to take over 9 laps in. Lethal could be looking to come in for a pit stop as soon as this lap potentially.
Let's see if
We'll
he
see
keeps
if
a
he
tight
decides to come
line
in
through turn 15.
and
Oh, he's going to stay out.
No.
Looks
Yep,
like
and let's see if
Siggy's
Siggy
coming
decides
in.
to come to the pits.
And Shaggy did
Yep,
the
and
old
Shaggy
fakeroo. He thought about it, but he switched it back out at the last
Yeah.
second. So now these guys are all outside of DRS range here. Nice little battle down in 8th place for between Leafsis and Sir Dougalism here too. They had some nice battle down the front straightaway. Let's see if we can pick that up. Yeah, here's Dominion being chased by Leafman here. And Sir Douglasm comes out right there. Siggy comes out right behind these two. No, I'm sorry. I take that back. These guys are all just racing pretty hard for this position back here. All yet to make their pit stops. So
Yeah,
let's
we
see.
have iFound looking to make a move on Faithful for P11.
Leafsis
right now
does
as well,
another
around the
big
outside
dive.
going into turn 1. It looks.
Wow.
Does he really? Wow.
Sorry, there's 2 battles going on here. I saw Leafsis take a big dive under
Yeah,
Dominion
I'm
again.
watching this.
And Dominion Man just kind of let him
Oh,
by.
wow. Oh, he had to. There wasn't a whole lot of room left. Oh, but Leafsis has a little bit of a moment. 3-car battle right here.
This takes some.
Oh, going into turn 11. It's a tough corner.
So they're all kind of getting single file again now. Meanwhile, back up front, let's
Yeah.
see if Lethal is going to make a pit stop at this point. He is staying out, as is Fute, and Shaggy was the one that we got to keep an eye on. Let's see if the overcut works here. Shaggy's coming into the pits. It's going to be interesting to see where he comes out against Siggy. Siggy, by the way, put the hard tires on, so he should be good for the rest of the race.
Yep, he's definitely going to go for that one stop. Let's see what kind of tire choice Shaggy likes to go for right here.
All the way down
like
to
that
the
Williams
Williams
pit
pit
crew
stop.
has the
Got the
medium
medium
tires out,
tires on. Now,
so
where
if
will
he
he come
couldn't-
out? Where will he come out against Siggy?
Yeah, he could be.
Let's see, where's Siggy? Siggy's coming around turn 15, coming down the hill. The overcut may have worked. He is well out in front, but Siggy's stuck behind Sargento. I wonder if that had an impact on. Let's see if Siggy
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
Well, looks like Sargento is a ghost car. So Siggy definitely lost out there on the hard tires, and now what was a nose-to-tail battle is now a 6-second gap for, I guess it would be third position after the pit stops all cycle through at this point.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what happened. You can't attribute that all to hard tires. I don't think it makes a 6-second difference. Maybe he served a penalty that we were unaware of. But yeah, a 6-second gap, which wasn't there before, so not sure what happened.
Yeah.
But we'll see Lethal come around the final corner again. Probably going to be coming into the pits this time. No, he's skipping it again.
he's
All right,
still
well, he's staying out
going.
for another lap.
He's making sure he gets his mileage on those tires. But meanwhile, Fute is starting to run him down here a little bit on those mediums. I think the crossover points happened, and Fute is starting to run him down. Meanwhile, let's jump back into 6th place.
Just kind of.
Looks like we had a battle going for P5. Sir Dougalism has the DRS on Leaf says, and we've seen Leafs send it a few times down the turn 5, so maybe Sir Douglas doesn't want to get in front of him just yet. as they head down into turn number 3. You'll have DRS again as they head down toward turn 5 on top of the hill here. It's 12-lap-old softs versus 10-lap-old mediums. It just runs right in the back of them. That's not going to work. So they go side by side to turn 5. Meanwhile, there's a Mercedes joining the party as well. Looks like Aston Martin joining the party as well. Nice little battle going on back here. Playing bumper cars a little bit, but looks like they all got away with it.
Yep, and Lethal's going to come around this last corner, and I would definitely imagine, we got a little bit of timing screen error, but I would definitely imagine this would be the time that Lethal decides to come in.
Yeah, Shaggy just picked
If
up
not,
a 3-second
really
penalty.
To the point on these softs. And
yeah, he's staying out again.
wow, I don't know about this choice. We'll have to talk to Lethal after the race to get the podium and ask him a little bit about that one.
He's maintaining the gap, and maybe that's what he's looking at. As long as that gap stay in there. I mean, yeah, he lost a tenth in a lap. Did you see that wobble going through turn 2 though? Those tires are starting to go. And look.
Oh yeah,
Look at the
he's
tire.
having a
Those
lot
tires
of moments
are
right
going.
now.
Let's hop on board with Foot here as he chases him down. And this Mr. Robot picks up a 3-second penalty. Track limits here are, I'd say they're fair, but the drivers are going to push hard. We've got a car around in turn 2. Looks like it might be, I think it's maybe Rivas. Is it Rivas or is it? Actually, I think it was Domin Man.
No, not Rivas.
Around.
It's the other. It's actually Dominion. Or Domin Man, sorry.
Domin Man, there you go. I can't read today. So it's Fute chasing down Lethal. He's half a second. He will get DRS down through turn 15. I've got to think Lethal's coming into the pits this time by, though.
Yeah, I can't imagine that he would stay out for another lap. Foot is still going to get the DRS regardless of whether he comes in here or not, and that'll give him a nice little boost to stay out in front.
And there's the move. Yep, there's the move.
Lethal's coming in. Let's see what tires the AlphaTauri team decides to pull out. I would imagine that he, at this point, I mean, he could really go mediums for the rest of the race. He's gone so long in his
I would think it's be the mediums, too. If you stretch the softs out this long, you got to reward yourself with the medium tires.
Yep.
Medium tire. Oh, no.
Oh, he goes to the hard.
It's the hard tires. Okay.
And you know, really, that could just be because cosmetically they look better on the AlphaTauri, you know?
I bet you that's exactly what it is. Yep, so he comes out. He's going to come out. Oh, he's going to come out right behind Leafsis. So Foot can go probably, another 4 or 5 laps on those medium tires? Or do you go ahead and pit now, take the advantage, or do you try to stretch it out? If you're Fute, what's the move?
Well, he hasn't made a stop yet, so he has to make a tire change. He started on the mediums, so I think if you're him, you're really trying, because you can't go back to another set of mediums. He has to go to a set of softs. I think he has to extend this mediums for quite a while. I don't think we're going to see him pit until closer to lap 23, 24 time range. But you never know. He could be thinking something different, or we could see safety cars. So I'm not sure.
Right now, the gap between Lethal and Foot is 23.5 seconds. 23.5 seconds, and they went in nose to tail for the lead. So let's keep an eye on that gap as the race progresses here. And if that gap gets bigger, then I think you stay out, right? But if it continues to drop, then you got to make that move. So that's the race we're watching right now is the gap between Fute and Lethal.
The interesting thing for Foot is that he actually cannot see the gap between him and.
This is true.
He doesn't know, and he doesn't have a race engineer to tell him either, so he's kind of just racing blindly.
The benefits of broadcast. And Lethal, Lethal just made the move on Leafsis, and he got rid of that traffic. That's going to open the green light for him and let him go. Shaggy set a new fast lap with a 1:19.5 in the Williams.
Yeah, and what's interesting is even though Lethal was on his out lap, he did set the fastest Sector 3 right there. So, he's pushing. He knows about the gap in front of him, and even though he's on hard tires, he's doing everything he can to make sure that gap is maintained. And I think we're going to have a good battle here at the end if things stay the way they are.
I think you're right. Let's jump back and look at 10th place as Sargento and Faithful and I found all kind of battling around for the bottom 2 points positions here. Looks like Sargento's got a DRS down on Faithfuls. They head down into turn number 5. Nothing happening that time by. Maybe try to stay in the slipstream, stay in the DRS range, get back around to turn number 15, make a move down the front stretch.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, now he goes around. Sargento just spun going through
No.
turn number 8. It's the curse of the broadcast. We
Yep.
go on board and around he goes. Let's get
I
off of him
know.
before we mess him up some more. Let's see. Let's take a look at Leafs.
We, as you say that, we had another incident right behind him in turn 8. Buzz God went around as well.
Oh,
so yeah, the turn 8
no.
is just eating people alive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't run into any more of that.
Yeah, turn 8 is it's definitely probably one of the more difficult corners on this track. As is, I still think, turn 15 reminds me a lot of the banked turn at Zandvoort. It works great in TT and qualifying and all that stuff, but once you get some used tires on that car, if you're not careful, you can the car will step out on you through that turn, and I've seen it happen to a few guys already. Not in this race yet, but these tires are getting worn.
Yeah, we got Leafs on the 14-lap old mediums that are starting to get there, as well as Foot on the 16-lap old mediums.
Ooh,
You
Foot
get to
with
those
a
kind
big
of
moment coming out of turn 13 or turn 12 there. Foot had a big old wiggle.
And he's already starting to feel the pain on these mediums. He's got a couple more laps he can do, but towards lap 23, when I'm thinking he's gonna want to pit, it's gonna be a little bit of a stretch.
I mean, look at the gap now. It's 15 seconds. It was 23 and a half. It's now 15 seconds. Lethal is running him down on those hard tires.
Yeah, he is.
So
Let's see, also, I think the one person we also need to keep an eye on again is Sid is just having like a steadily quiet race. He's not pitting for the rest of the race. So he's on these for good. Foot's going to pit, and he's going to end up probably 15 seconds behind Sid, and Sid's going to be on old hards, and he's going to be chasing him down. But Sid will have that track position. It's just kind of going to be like, can Sid hold on to? And that'll be very interesting to watch, see if that hard tire strategy plays out for him.
Well, Sid's also picked up a full 8 seconds worth of penalties, and we're only a little bit over halfway in this race. So you got to keep it on the track, guys, and you can't. I mean, 8 seconds is right now 1, 2, 3 positions for him. So that's gonna. It's Mr. Robot in third, though. How about Mr. Robot? We haven't talked much about him today. And the Alfa Romeo up in third place, making a solid
He's having
run.
a quietly good race too. Yeah. He needs to definitely get in the pits here soon. He's on the same strategy as Foot, so I think both of them are going to be running their mediums for a couple more laps here before they come in for softs to go for the rest of the race. Either that, or they could use a safety car to come in for softs right now, but I don't think it's going to happen. We don't have too many close battles going on the track right now. Actually, if you look around,
Yeah,
I think we got closest battle we have is I found is pretty close to pushing in on Faithful.
Yeah, iFound's in DRS range on Faithful. Let's hop on board with iFound and watch him run down Faithful. iFound's running the 7-lap old medium tires versus Faithful's 12-lap old hard tires. So more or less about the same performance here. He is in DRS range. He's got 2 corners to go. Oh, there's an overtake. Maybe was it something happened to Leafs here? Oh, Leafs went into the pits. That's what happened.
Yep.
Leafs dove into the pits. He's going to put on a set of hard tires to go the rest of the way.
We'll see if iFound decides to go for Faithful right here on these newer mediums. I don't think he's going to. I don't think the gap's quite there.
He's a little far back. Yeah, a little far back to make a run, but he's in the slipstream. He's on the DRS. He's getting down there. I get nervous. That speed difference there, man. That speed difference is massive at the end of turn 1 of this DRS and ERS.
Yep.
But now we got a little 3-way battle here for, again, for 8th place.
Also, you said it earlier, but Lethal is on a tear through the field. He's actually caught back up to 3rd place. He's caught up to Robot, and he's probably going to be looking to overtake him and get past him on this lap. Best thing that could happen for Foot is for Robot to kind of hold him off right here as long as he can.
Yeah, he needs to hold him off
quite
a bit. Let's check the gap to the leader here. Yeah, Lethal 14 seconds. So, I mean, we're talking it was about a 23-second pit. Oh, okay. Whew. Yeah. Robot dove into the pits. Robot's putting on his tires. I thought Lethal was following him there to give me a little mini heart attack. But Lethal continues on his way, moves up to P3, 14 seconds now behind Foot, who continues to run out front. I think if Foot were to pit now, he would come out in right about 4th position, I believe. So he needs to get off those medium tires right in front of Shaggy. Who's also on the medium tire. I think Shaggy's probably good to go the rest of the distance on those medium tires as well. They may be kind of worn by the time he gets to the end, but
yeah. I mean, we talk about Foot. Is he going to come out in front or behind Lethal? And I think it's pretty clear at this point he's going to be behind Lethal. But we got to remember he's going to be on those fresh mediums, and at that point, who knows if Lethal's already on 4-lap old hards. It could be 6, 7, 8-lap old hards, and at that point, Foot would be just absolutely on a tear trying to chase him down. So we've got a really good battle. We're going to have to see how it plays out at the end. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think the soft tires will be a match for those hard tires if he does go to the softs. Meanwhile, back down at that race for 8th place, I found Faithful and Leafsus are all in a battle here for 7th place as they continue to follow each other around.
You can just kind of see them all slide through turn 8. It's just crazy through there, and the dirty air in front doesn't help at all either. Faithful's actually really close on iFound's tail. I'd imagine we're going to see some sort of overtaking coming in the straightaway between these 3 cars.
Yeah, they're very, very close.
See what happens. A little bit wide right here for Lethal going, for Faithful going through the corner. Get back on the throttle as fast as you can right here. All 3 of them had a pretty good exit. We'll see if there's any overtakes.
They head on the front straightaway. The gaps are there. I think maybe Faithful's got the biggest run here. Let's hop on board.
Yeah.
Down the turn.
What's interesting is I don't know if iFound didn't use his DRS or what, but he was certainly in range of DRS, but for some reason I didn't see that wing open up, and I'm not sure what that was about. But regardless, close racing between these 3 guys. Robot is out on his soft tires right behind Siggy. I don't think Siggy will be able to hold him off. Siggy looks to be going to the end of the race on those hard tires. Same strategy as Sid is. We'll see how long it takes Robot to get past Siggy right here.
Foot's in the pits. Foot's come in for those medium tires. I think we know
so he
that.
Decides to come in on lap 22.
I think we know that Lethal's going to get the position here. And there he goes down the front straightaway. Lethal's overtaking Foot right now. Lethal did a great job running him down. See
what that gap is. That's going to be interesting.
Foot's coming out of the pit now.
It just seems like the pit takes forever.
It's a long pit lane. At least he'll come out right on the apex here in front of the Williams, right next to Shaggy. Comes in right behind him. So there's Shaggy's in. They kind of split the 2 cars here. So we're expecting Sid to have to pit out of the race lead. So right now our I guess impromptu race leaders are Lethal, Shaggy, and Foot can all go the rest of the way. And Foot did go to the soft tires. So the gap right now is about 11 seconds. You've got 11 seconds and 11 laps to run down your target, Lethal.
And it makes sense because I would say that the softs are easily a second a lap faster. I would even argue probably more than a second lap faster. Just see how long he can hold on to it. And the key here is going to be not making mistakes and keeping those softs in good condition to be able to make the overtake once you get there. Also, we want to be watching his battery. Right now he's sitting up at near 100%, so he hasn't had to push it all yet. Foot's in a pretty good spot, honestly, right here. I think he could be one of the favorites to win this race.
I think he just had a purple sector 2, and he is in a great spot.
Yeah.
He managed his race well. He got those tires all the way to lap number 21 when he took to the pits, or lap 22, excuse me. Now
Let's stay on board with Foot for this lap. You see he's going to pass Shaggy right here.
It's going to be an easy
pretty
pass.
Easy overtake. I think we're going to see a fastest lap from Foot. If he doesn't mess anything up. He should be on absolute terror mode right here. Keeps it within the boundaries. Still not using his battery. I'm not sure if he's just really trying to hold out as much as he can. But it's complete push time for Foot right now as he's just already closing the gap, less than 11 seconds behind Lethal.
Set a purple sector 1.
Yep.
Yeah, the gap's already come down 1 second. And he's doing that's his target. He's got to get 1 second a lap from Lethal here.
Right now he's got Revis. Revis is in front of him, and if Revis stays in front of him, is Revis going to pull out of the way?
Yeah, Revis looks like he's a ghost car anyway. Meanwhile, Lethal up front is about to get in DRS range for Sid, and that'll help kind of keep that gap intact here. But right now the gap is falling. He's down to looks like 9.2. Maybe 10.2 seconds. I'm going to switch this over to a different, here we go, 10.1 seconds with 10 laps to go. I mean, he's on mark. He's got to keep it going, though. There's his battery.
Yeah, now he's finally turning on his battery. For some reason, he saved a lot of battery that lap, and what's impressive is he still, as you see, he actually cut off over a second and a half.
There it is. Fastest lap, 118.4.
118.4. So he is definitely on a tear. He cut off a second and a half, and there's still 9 laps to go. math tells you that he should easily be able to catch Lethal before the last lap. Actually, we're looking at probably around lap 30 is going to be when he's going to be trying to overtake. So right
And
now, Fuchs just kind of got to zone in and keep chasing him down.
he does, and looks like
Also,
Lethal.
Lethal has come up to Sid.
Yeah, yeah, Lethal's in DRS range of Sid. That's exactly what I just saw as well. So down this front straightaway here in a few turns, he's going to be able to get pull a gap. But I mean, Fuchs doing the job. 8.5 seconds now. I mean, he's taken out about a second a lap. That's exactly what he needs to do to run down Lethal here.
Yep. It's going to be so close. So I'm excited to see how this finishes. I don't know if Lethal. I feel like Sid's going to be giving Lethal a battle here. I don't know if he's just going to let him by. I don't think there's going to be any Honda team orders going through here. Let's see if Sid does anything.
So Sid's still rocking those 8 seconds worth of penalties there. He's not fighting for the win right now, but
yeah,
and his tires are
true.
20 laps old. I mean, he's got to pit at some point here. Meanwhile, he's giving Lethal the tow, the DRS, and everything. And yep, so Fuchs now down to 7.2 seconds behind his target, and that gap just went up 2/10.
For the rest of the laps, Sid's just slowing Lethal down at this point. All he's offering is dirty air at this point, and you would think maybe Sid would pull out of the way because he's got those 8 seconds of penalties.
Oh, he hit him! He touched
Lethal's
him!
gonna send it.
They touched! Oh, no.
Sid is not done with this. Sid is still going to fight it back. Like I said, there's no Honda team orders here. Sid is definitely
Sid's not giving up.
Give up
Oh, whoa, he hit him again! Front wing. How's the front wing
Sid
look?
had a little bit of a moment, and you just got to hope that Lethal doesn't have any wing damage.
That's two moments of contact. It
appears
looks
to
like
be
the wing's
okay.
okay.
I don't see anything too...
Yeah, I'm not a mechanic, but that wing still says Alpha
Yeah,
Tower
and this
on
whole
it, so.
time we have Foot just absolutely reeling him in. Yeah, Foot is just absolutely running them down. He's now within 7 seconds. This is really, really bad. Lethal has to pass Sid right here. Does he have the battery to do it? Yes, he does.
I think he's got wing damage. See how slow he went through those last 2 turns right there? I think Lethal has wing
We'll
damage.
have to see if he comes in the pits.
I think, is he staying
Lethal
out?
decides to stay out.
Did you see how slow he went through the last 2 turns, though? I don't know. I mean, Sid's staying out as well. Look, he's already dropped back 1.3 seconds. Foot is now 4.5 seconds behind him. Yeah, look how slow he's going through these turns. He's got to have wing damage. Lethal's got to have trouble with his car.
Does. I think he has minor wing damage.
I think he's just trying to run it till the end right here. Take his medicine and go. Meanwhile, Lethal's driving down the road. Yeah, he's definitely got wing damage going off the track. Let's hop on board with Foot as he runs him down. That's going to make Foot our definite favorite here.
We'll see. Well, all I'll say is we'll see, because Lethal could have some tricks up his sleeve. You don't know.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen when these two get side by side.
You just never know. He'll have the ability to battle it out.
And
I don't want to jinx anything for Foot by saying that he's the favorite, but
I mean, I'm watching these guys get super close to track limits too. I mean, Lethal still does not have any track limit penalties. Foot's obviously racing hard. If he picks up a 3-second penalty, that buys Lethal at least another lap or two to keep the. I mean, he's
you're
keeping the gap.
Right. And on that same note, I'll add that Lethal also probably has a couple warnings himself. I definitely saw him go off track a couple times, struggling with that wing. I would imagine that he's probably a warning away from getting a penalty himself. So never know what could happen through here.
Like we got a car around in sector 2.
Working out in favor.
I think it was Sir Doug may have went around. Yeah, Sir Doug made a loop through turn 8. He is back on his way. Meanwhile, back up front, Foot is now within a second of Lethal here. As Rivas is retired and crashed in turn. Oh, he crashed coming out of the. We talked about turn 15.
Yep,
and
you
caught
called
Rivas
it. You called it.
Meanwhile, here goes Foot making the move on Lethal. Thinking about it, thought better of it. No point in being risky here. Yeah, Lethal gives him the room as they go side by side up into turn number 7. Yeah, Lethal did not hold him up there too much at all. I think he knows there's no point. Let him go. See what happens. And there's you go. Fute moves
He's going
up
to get to
second
the point
place.
in this race. Foot's going to get to a point where he is also struggling on his soft tires, and he could, make the same mistake that Rivas made. As you said, coming out of that turn 15 onto the straightaway, you pop your battery a little bit and you start revving in with the soft tires that are used, and all of a sudden your rears start to slide, and boom, you're gone. So We see it eat people up all the time, and it's just going to be about hanging on to it at this point at Foot. But it's easier said than done at Portugal.
Absolutely, it's a track that, I'll say in my practice this week, it's the first track that I've been to where you kind of just get into at least I kind of got into a flow where you don't remember the last 3 or 4 corners. You look up, you're like, oh, I've already done another lap, and I think that's such a great track to drive. It's so fun to drive. Feels like you're actually kind of going somewhere when you're driving around it. So super excited to have this track in the game, and I can't wait to see how this race finishes up. Plus the rest of the Zoom Racing League this weekend. D2, D1 tomorrow night.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely. I think as we see Foot start to reel in Sid here, I think one of the biggest disappointments we've seen in this race, unfortunately, is Buzzcott. I know in practice he worked so hard this week, and he was doing so well. I guess it could have been worse. Things could have been worse. He could have been down there in the DNF list, but right now he's sitting back at 13th, a lap down, just not gone his way. So very unfortunate for him. But our top 5 have just been battling it out. I think we have a pretty good crew here for Division 3 as we move on for the rest of the season.
Absolutely. And I think, I was second guessing Lethal's move to stay out, but at this point with 5 laps to go, he's got a 16-second gap over third place, Mr. Robot, who also has penalties in tow. Lethal can get a podium out of this race if he just keeps running at this point, and maybe even a second place after Sid. Sid still has to pit at some point, so I was kind of second guessing him staying out. But you think Sid's going to stay out?
Yeah, I don't think the Sid's going to be pitting anymore. I think he's going to stay out on these hards for the rest of the time. So I think it'll probably be third place for Lethal, unless he's able to pull some crazy maneuvers to get back within that 8 seconds of Sid.
Let's take a look at our penalties here and get an idea where everyone's at. Sid's out front, still got 8 seconds worth of penalties. That puts him automatically right now in third place. Maybe another reason he doesn't want to pit. 8 seconds sounds like a 3 second plus a 5 second. If you do pit, the game does make you serve that 5 second penalty. So yeah, maybe it's good just stay out and take your medicine and appeal what you can appeal and hope for a podium. But that makes our impromptu race leader right now, Fute, who continues to run him down for good measure, wants to get the pass done on track. Lethal's in third place. Mr. Robot carrying 6 seconds worth of penalties, as is Shaggy in fifth, carrying 6 seconds worth of penalties as well. So still,
not too many close battles right now. Just field's kind of spread out. Still 4 laps to go, like you said, but just a lot of penalties that I think everyone's pretty much just hot lapping at this point. Looks like, just really no one battling on the track right now.
Well, that'll happen. Guys get strung out. Guys get racing. They get in their pace. They find their groove and their rhythm. Looks like we got 2 cars close on track coming down the start-finish line. Right now we got a yellow in Sector 2. Looks like maybe Faithful went around. Yeah, Faithful went around in the Mercedes. That's going to lose the position to Dominant Man. I can't say that. Oh, he loses it again on hot tires.
It gets worse and worse and worse.
He does a donut for the fans. Why not? Oh, and he didn't look like a ghost, but I guess he was a ghost. I got nervous for a second. So yeah, he's gonna rejoin.
His leader's coming through, so that was scary.
His tires are still lit up. Let's see if he can hold on to it here. Gotta let those tires cool down. Once those tires light up, and it's like driving on ice. Looks like he got it back under control. Meanwhile, back up front, Foot continues to run down Sid with 3 laps to go at this point. At least it'll be 3 laps to go when they cross the start-finish line here. How about, a tip of the hat for Lethal, though. Damaged wing. He's keeping the gap. He ran in the back of Sid, and they made contact with each other. Yeah, we all saw it, but what a recovery drive just to keep going, keep your head down, and go for that podium. I think I would have pitted right there myself, but, I'm not as smart as him, apparently, because if I would have pitted, that would put me back in, 5th at least.
Yeah, he's losing. I just noticed he's losing 3 to 4 seconds a lap. So the wing is definitely having a big effect on him. You have to do the math on the spot. I don't know exactly what lap it happened, the incident between him and Sid, but, 3 to 4 seconds per lap slower. You start to do the math, and you're like, maybe I should have pitted, but hindsight is 20/20. We're not sure exactly what would have happened, but there's a big gap between him and second place. There's a big gap between him and fourth. I'm not sure if anything would have changed. Maybe he could just hope for a safety car at that point to kind of bring the field closer, but think he's pretty much done everything he could to hold on to a podium for this race. Oh, as long as he avoids penalties.
And now he's right on the gearbox of Sid as he goes through turn 14 down to turn 15. Remember, we're going to keep an eye on Sid. I mean, I'm sure turn 15 is not a walk in the park right now for Sid. You see he runs out wide, and we get the run down the front straightaway. Fute is going to have the DRS. Rear wing is open. He's making a look in the mirror there. Nothing going on this time, but I mean, no rush here at all. If you're Fute, you got 8-second penalty. The guy in front of you is on older tires. Little lock up there from Sid going into turn number 3. And
yeah, and if I'm Fute here, I don't even know if I try to make an overtake on Sid. I think it's just one of those things where you just hang on to him to the end. It's a free, easy win.
Yeah, we saw what happened to Lethal when he tried, so you got to be careful getting around Sid. Yep. Sid's a pretty wide Red Bull there.
Yes, he is, for sure. So Sid's an experienced racer, and you can see Lethal's actually fallen back to third guaranteed. Well, yeah. Not going to say guaranteed, but
he fell
Sid's
out of the
8-second penalty.
Yep.
Yep. So, looking like we pretty much have the 1 through 3 locked up the way that they're going to be.
Well, we still got a lap to go. You never know what's going to happen here. I mean, you got to go through turn 15 2 more times here. I think you're right, though. I think Fute is taking a page out of your playbook here. He's not being aggressive. Now, he's going to have a ton of speed this time down the start-finish line as we start the last lap. I mean, do you go for the overtake?
He is going to try to make the overtake. Okay.
There he goes. New race leader down in the turn 1.
Yep.
It's Fute, followed by Sid.
It's a little unnecessary, but, you know, I mean, it is what it is. I feel like maybe he just wanted to really put the emphasis into the fact that, hey, I'm better than you. You know, I don't need I don't need your penalties to win the race. It's just a matter of, you know, showing up week after week. Both these guys are actually reserve drivers.
Look at Sid dive down the inside of turn 5.
Oh, my.
And
this isn't what we want to see, but
that's what you got to be careful of. If that car's in front of you, it's a lot easier to avoid them.
Yeah, exactly. So both of these guys are actually reserve drivers this week. Neither one of them have permanent seats here in Division 3. They're filling in, Foot for Ferrari and Sid for Red Bull. So really, as far as the Division 3 driver standings go, Lethal's actually taking home a big W here. He should move up to the top of the standings in the Drivers' Championship. And then Ferrari and Red Bull will both walk away with half points for these podiums. But we will have to see how that all shakes up in the standings once they're finished out.
That's right. Got all these penalties to go through, things to go, you know, steward requests to go through, penalties to go through. But there's one man here who does not have any penalties to worry about. Your winner of the Portimao Grand Prix is Fute. Crosses the line in first place in the Ferrari. An outstanding drive, one stopper. Sid crosses the line in second. Here comes Lethal in the AlphaTauri with that broken front wing. Going to take home third place. He did pick up a 3-second penalty, but he's got a big enough gap, or it doesn't even matter. Rounding up the podium, Lethal in the AlphaTauri, followed by Shaggy and Mr. Robot coming across the line after that as the rest of the drivers continue to come across. Let's see if there's any tight battles. Looks like Siggy is still chasing down Leafs here.
Siggy is close, yeah. But he's also got a lot of penalties as well, so I think those are going to be settled into 7th and 8th. And then we'll have...
Leafs crashes across the finish line. Leafs was doing some wiggles. Yeah, and he lost it. And on the last lap, no way. Dominant Man lost it coming out of turn number, what is that, 11? Wow.
Yeah, so he'll actually walk away with DNF, which isn't what you want to do.
Oh, but, my goodness.
It happens.
Mr. Robot's driver of the day. I don't know. Duncan, who's your driver of the day?
Oh,
Put you on the spot,
part of me wanted to say Lethal for a while, but, you know, you saw what happened, and it kind of takes it away. I'm not going to say that it's his fault, but you have to kind of give it to Foot for kind of, you know, he started not at the front of the field, but in the midfield, and kind of just worked his way through it to the front, and his race strategy prevailed. So I have to say that Foot's my driver of the day.
Very good. I think I'll agree with you. I think it would have been an interesting race if the incident between Lethal and Sid did not happen. I think Fute would have run him down. We could have had a great race there. But your winner at the Portimao Grand Prix, Fute in the Ferrari, Sid in the Red Bull takes second place. Lethal in the AlphaTauri takes third. Let's see if we can get a word with some of these guys. You want to hop out and see if you can pull some of them in here, and we can get a word?
Yeah, let's see if we can get maybe get Sid in here. Hold on a second. There we go. Hey Sid, how's it going? You got us?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, welcome to the broadcast booth, man. Hey, you had a great race. You switched to the hard tires and you kind of just held on. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, I had nothing to lose, so I just thought that why not give it a go. This is like my first actual race on this track. I only did like an hour worth of TT.
Wow.
Hey Sid, it's PBJ. Tell me a little bit about that incident between you and Lethal for the lead right there toward the end.
I'm not really sure. I just braked on my braking point, and I think he ran into me from behind. I don't know what happened. I don't know why he expected me to brake so late because I was on really old tires.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, hold on, Lethal. Hold on just a second.
Yeah,
Well, Sid,
so I
great.
don't know what really happened.
Okay.
I'll look back at the replay and see what happened.
Yeah, okay. Well, hey, second place is second place, right? Great job, great finish. It was fun to watch, great strategy. You really made those tires stretch out to the end, and
Yep.
congratulations, man.
It was fun. Thank you.
Thanks, Sid.
Let's see if we can get, is Lethal in here as well?
Yeah, Lethal's in here. So Lethal, great race, man. Obviously, you had a little bit of an unfortunate event with Sid. You want to give us a little walkthrough of your take on it?
yeah. I mean, it was a good race. I think the safety car was really unfortunate. I mean, obviously, pretty big lead before that, but Sid obviously and the Ferrari both had really good strategies, and I knew I wasn't, I'd have to compete with that at the end. I think it was just kind of unfortunate because Sid had 8 seconds of penalties. I don't think he did anything wrong, whatsoever. He kind of lost it up the hill, which people do, especially on old tires, and he started to spin, and that's when I hit the back of him. I don't know. You want to race, especially if you have the position, but it was a lot faster, so it's kind of I should have just overtaken him on the straight, obviously. So,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
nonetheless.
So Sid and Foot are they're both reserve drivers this week. So as far as the drivers who actually have permanent seats in Division 3, you're actually the number one driver. So how do you feel about going into the last couple of weeks of this short little season we have? And you should be, I would guess, the top 3 driver in the driver standings.
We'll see. I mean, there's only 2 races, and anything can happen. So, it's weird because I have no idea who's actually in D3 and who out there was D1 or 2 or reserve or whatever. So,
Sure.
Yeah, but it was a good race.
Yeah. One more thing, you got Russia next week. Any comments on how you are at Russia?
Oh, it's one of my best tracks. I love Russia.
All right.
Hey, you know what I heard?
Well-
That means Lethal's going to be my fantasy pick next week, too, man.
Yeah.
Lethal,
I think
great
I made
job,
a
man.
mistake in not having him this week. Good job, Lethal. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. Good race. Thanks.
Yep.
So that's it. That'll wrap it up from Portimao. The D3 drivers putting on a show. And, I got to admit, it was very clean. I mean, there were some DNFs, one safety car, one virtual safety car. Lots of action on track. And then once everybody kind of found their pace, it all kind of worked out in the end with, Fute, though, taking the win. Sid, second place. Lethal in third. Shaggy got fourth. Mr. Robot came home in fifth place. Kind of, again, like a quiet race. Took home a P5. That's great. Leafsus in sixth. Siggy in seventh. Sir Douglasm in eighth. I found in ninth, and Dominant Man rounding out the top 10, claiming the last point in the Aston Martin. Duncan, any final thoughts?
Nope, I just think it was a really good race, clean from everybody, and I'm excited to see how they do at Russia next week.
Yeah, man, sounds good to me. Sounds good. Hope you guys enjoyed the race. Join us again tomorrow night for D2 action, and then follow D2 action at 8 o'clock, followed by D1 action at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. It's the Zoom Racing League. We'll see you guys next week. Ciao.